Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah,
Oh, now you. That's
So
better.
I unplugged my mic from my. I'm not gonna. It's boring.
Okay.
It sounded like you were at some kind of like rock stadium recording session for about 3 seconds.
I am.
Minutes,
I actually have a full sound.
Yeah.
You should see my setup.
Sound checking at Wembley suddenly.
Crew here,
and then...
helping me out.
Yeah.
I've got I'm sat at a piano and I've got a glass here. It's like when you see it in the movies.
It's like Live Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be good when we did a documentary one day and get all that footage of you.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, ready to start? This sucks on so many levels. This is the Science Fiction Rating System podcast that aims to rank every science fiction film from 1 to infinity. My name is Sam Draper, and joining me this week on our final horror film are Chris Redding.
Hello.
And Alex Humphrey.
Hey there.
How is everybody this Sunday afternoon?
Not bad.
Pretty good.
How did we find the end of horror trilogy?
Loved
Horrific?
it.
Good. I'm glad it's over.
Oh, boo.
It's just gash, though, isn't it? Really.
All right.
Straight
Jumping ahead a bit. So we watched first week we saw Sunshine, which
controversial, wasn't it?
Yeah, Chris liked, but we didn't like much. I didn't like.
Dude.
Event Horizon, which no one really liked, but I think
it
was all right.
Yeah.
Chris, you were down it most, I think, weren't you?
Yeah.
And this week we are concluding with Jason. Excuse me. I can't even say it. I'm just choking while I was trying to say it. Conclude with Jason X. Let me try again. I'm having a bit of water. Right.
Been possessed.
Yeah, I've been possessed. Yeah, this week we're concluding with Jason X, which is the most horror of the horror films. It's the only real, actual, proper horror. I know Event Horizon's a horror film.
It's not really horror, is it?
It's slasher.
Well,
Come on.
Slasher horror, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, you'd not seen this before, had you?
No.
No. Alex, you had?
Yeah, I had, yeah.
This was in the cinema, I guess, was it? No?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, dear.
It made $17 million on a $11 million budget.
Right, okay.
Jason X, the 10th instalment of the Friday the 13th film series. So what's everyone's history of the series in total? Chris, have you seen any of the Friday the 13th films?
No, I haven't.
Wow.
I just haven't seen much of the
Much horror stuff.
horror stuff, no.
Alex, have you seen all of them?
Not all of them. Gets a bit patchy. Definitely 1, 2. And then it gets a bit when he goes to Manhattan. 3 is 3 Manhattan. I'm not sure.
No, that's
There's one with
8.
Manhattan.
Jason Takes Manhattan. That's 8. That is.
Was that 8? Oh, okay. Well, it gets a bit patchy in the middle, and then I've definitely seen.
How many are there?
Well, do you know why it's called Jason X? Because it's Jason 10. It's the 10th one. That's why it's called Jason X. Yeah.
And then it got rebooted, and it doesn't really count, does it?
Well, there's Freddy versus Jason, isn't there?
Yes.
After it as well.
Yeah, I've
And then
seen
there's-
that.
And this Friday the 13th, there's 12 of them in total.
Yeah, but no, I get a bit patchy in the middle, and they all kind of blend into each other, and you just kind of I remember scenes from them more than like the whole film.
Yeah.
But the first one I think is very good, and then but you know
The first one, even the first one, there's like a rip off of Halloween, really, isn't it? That's all it is, just cashing for Halloween.
Yeah, but it's got a bit more going for it. Yeah, and the first one's interesting because everyone kind of misremembers the first one a bit. And then
because the hockey mask, of course. Yeah, there's no.
Well, yeah, and
there's no hockey mask, is there? In there?
Spoilers, massive spoilers. So turn off if you haven't seen them. Chris, you okay with some spoilers here?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, right. Jason isn't the murderer in the first one in Friday the 13th. It's his mum who's getting revenge for Jason dying in the lake. So that people always forget that. And in the second one, he wears a sack on his head, so he still doesn't wear the hockey mask. It's only the third one, I think, where he got the hockey mask. But he's an iconic character. I love a bit of Jason, especially it was one of the main reasons I bought that last Mortal Kombat game because you get to be Jason, Predator, Alien, or Leatherface. That's like, and all the Mortal Kombat people. That's, dream come true for me.
Well, there you go.
I like the name Voorhees.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it, Voorhees? Yeah.
Do you like the name Uber Jason?
I was going to say, yeah. The name Uber Jason. Yeah. Right, well, let's get into it, shall we? So we start in 2010. It's quite a bold direction, really, with David Cronenberg. He's playing a doctor.
Yeah.
Which is strange, and I was like, is that David Cronenberg? And it was.
Yeah.
And
have you ever seen Nightbreed? That horror film?
Yeah, I have seen Nightbreed, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's actually really good in that. He's the main villain, and I actually think he's really, really scary. And he kind of makes you like, maybe he could have been a reasonable actor, because he's got kind of a presence, I think. But he only did this as a favour, didn't he, to the director?
He's a bit TV movie, isn't he, though, I think, in this anyway. I don't remember in Nightbreed, but he's not any much, is he? So the general concept, the premise is basically that Jason is unkillable. I didn't know that was a canon thing.
Is he like a freak kid? What's he look like before all this shit?
Well, so in the first film, spoilers, in the first film, they're all at a camp, and there's the story about the counsellors were too busy having sex. They let this little boy go, and he drowned in the river. And everyone thinks that Jason's come back and is killing everyone. But in fact, it's his mum who's killing the counsellors who are doing the same thing. Drugs, sex, all that, and that she's killing them in retribution. But at the very end of the first Friday the 13th, you see Jason come back out the river, he's all kind of covered in seaweed, like kind of mold and nasty stuff like that. So he's kind of.
Does he look like Elephant Man or something?
He's all deformed and mucked up, right. And he's got more deformed. But like you said, they're pretty much saying in this film, and I don't know. They're kind of just absolutely saying that he is genetically different to everyone else, and he can regenerate.
But he's like Wolverine.
Yeah. I know there's definitely one, and I don't know if it's, like I say, they all merge, if it's before or after this, but there's one where they're doing a autopsy on Jason, and they cut his heart out, and then the doctor just eats his heart for some reason, and then Jason, explodes out of him. So, it's got to that level of just but I think it's quite ballsy of this film to just basically just say, he's basically...
He's invincible.
Yeah, he's an invincible mutant.
Do you know the problem, though, with, this sort of character and Wolverine, that sort of thing? Why don't they just chop his head off?
Yeah.
And put his head in a different
the body
room?
would grow back. I'm assuming.
Well, it happened in that weird one. It does do that, and we're jumping ahead into the plot, but they do kill him. It's just where they kill him is the wrong place, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. True. That's true. Yeah. Anyway, So at this point in the plot, we think he's invincible, and he's in a massive hangar, and there's one guard who's getting a bit freaked out. So he puts a bag over his head. Or is it a towel? Isn't it a towel over his head or something like that?
Yeah.
Which is an odd scene, and predictably, Jason gets out.
Not
goes
explained.
on a killing spree. No, not explained. That bag. Perhaps that bag he managed to fashion a lockpick out of a bag.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Who knows?
I mean, he's invincible and do anything, can't he?
Considering that he's impervious to bullets, people seem to go at him with guns.
An awful lot, yeah.
They forget.
There must be at least 5 times in this film where you have that shot of him stood there, just
taking tons
shaking
of shots.
around a bit. Yeah. The bullets don't work, and the what's her name? Is it Rowan?
Yeah.
Yes, Rowan LaFontaine, played by Lexa Doig. Who
I just kept writing Lady Doctor in my notes.
Yes. Lexa Doig, whose only credit I could find really that I knew was that she played a cowgirl in William Shatner's Tech War.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
She was in
Made into a film.
In the TV series, she's a recurring character in it.
I didn't realise it was a TV series.
She was in Andromeda.
Right. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
I never watched that. So
all this cast seemed to be from Bold and the Beautiful type.
Yeah.
I mean, it was made for $11 million. So there's no, most of that's probably gone on.
That's
Jason's
no excuse, really, is it?
I mean, it's the 10th Jason film. You're not going to get some star talent coming in for the 10th film.
But did you read the thing about the acting? There's a great the guy that directed it wanted the acting in this film, quote, to blow every other Friday movie out the water. So the associate producer videotaped the rehearsals on camcorder for the director, who would view them to get ideas, seeing the characters in action. The problem was with all the script rewrites, a lot of the time what he watched wasn't what they were actually doing. So it just didn't work. So they were rehearsing stuff that then didn't end up in it. So he couldn't even coach them on the acting. So and as Chris said, and you said, the acting isn't that good, really. They're pretty.
I'm not saying they need to have names in it, but I'm just saying it's the whole like approach to it seems to be this sort of like B movie daytime TV sort of.
Yeah.
You know, that American daytime. It's got a name, hasn't it? Like there's a channel, isn't there? It just churns them out.
Yeah. Lifetime.
I think
Lifetime.
The music really doesn't help that, does it? Because the soundtrack is like awful cheap, you know, like fair like synth,
and it's lit like telly.
Yeah,
which doesn't forgive any of the shitness in terms of like art direction, does it? Like,
no, but it has some good ideas, I would say.
Yeah,
they're all nicked from other films, though.
No, I think it's got a few good ideas. Let's get to the good ideas. So we're still on the setup, but basically this like introduction prologue ends with Jason being frozen in carbonite like Han Solo, and then he kind of mucks it all up, so the girl gets frozen as well.
Managed to snap through the door somehow.
That's there's no science in that, so that would not work at all, would it?
I mean, the whole thing. The guy's invincible.
But like neither of them would freeze, would it? Like at that point, they both just die.
It just wouldn't work. Yeah.
No, it just wouldn't work. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It could do. I don't know.
You think?
Because the whole room was sealed.
Yeah. I mean, the front. Okay. Yeah. If that room becomes like all a fridge. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But there's no explanation of like this facility, right? What happens after that for the next?
So it's 445 years later they find it.
They just forgot then, did they? Them people which were killed that day or locked in the fridge were the only people
involved. Yeah. That's what it seems like, isn't it? Yeah, because they walk through. Site. Also, considering it's 445 years later, the place is miraculously in good condition, just like a few cobwebs, but otherwise it's kind of all right, isn't it?
Yeah, looks fine.
So it's 445 years later, and there's a student group who are investigating Earth 1, which has been abandoned by the human race, and we've all gone to live on Earth 2, which is a fantastic game.
No, that got fucked up too. They're on Earth 3. So they are basically investigating the planet. Someone must have. The only person that knew where this vault was died and lost the key. So yeah. I think there's some funny moments in this scene though, like when the guy the mug gets stuck to his hand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a little bit of comedy. Pratfalls.
It's some good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when he gets when they find Jason and Jason falls forwards and slices that man's arm off. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I think it's quite a good.
It'd be good if he smashes into bits like Jason at that point, and then they're like, "Oh,
right, restitching him.
Can't heal from that, can you?"
No.
If there's one way to kill Jason, it's probably that, isn't it? Like doing like on GoldenEye, where he like freezes and then smashes.
Yeah.
I
suppose. Yeah.
I mean,
there's a really good shot when he takes his arms sliced off.
Yeah.
And no one reacts, and I love that. So that's really like in world, isn't it? Because obviously they know they can fix it, don't they? So it's really good that they don't sort of do anything.
I mean, you've given more setup than the film gives. Literally, everyone gets frozen, and then it jumps to those weird steampunk people just exploring the abandoned thing, and you don't really get an explanation to what's going on for another
that's
maybe.
That's the problem, isn't it? I just imagine it.
But I didn't mind that. I liked that though.
Like the Third World War happens the day after they all get frozen in the thing.
Yeah,
maybe. But again, I think that's kind of a ballsy move. There wasn't this whole like a title card. There wasn't like a voiceover. It's just next shot is these weird characters. You don't really know what's going on. You're like, why don't they know what a hockey mask is? You know, like I think it's quite.
What's all the opening credits about? Because it's like going through hell.
I think you're inside his bloodstream, aren't you? I think.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there.
Just arty. I think that's what.
I think you're in his bloodstream.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I agree. I like the going like 445 years to the future. Feels like a real sort of, when you're a kid and you write a story, like it seems like such a ridiculous amount of time, doesn't it? I like that in a way. They're like, well, we can do anything now. We're so far in the future, it doesn't matter. We do what we like.
Yeah.
But in this far in the future, there's still students. They still investigate stuff. They never really explicitly do explain what they're doing, do they? In terms of they're on a field trip, aren't they?
No, they're on the so that the professor is part of the ship.
Yeah.
And the security team, but the students just seem to be there because it's all about money, isn't it? It's all about grants. So I'm assuming the professor took some students and he's trying to get money to do his
But the professor's like in debt, as we find out later on.
Yeah.
With like a shady backer who, I mean, I don't know if like an early script there's more of an explanation, but like why are they on like what is kind of a warship?
Yeah.
You know, why is the military with them? It kind of doesn't really hold together in a way. As you say, I think like when you think about it, because you know like the setup for Jason films is it's a bunch of students getting killed by Jason. You fill in the blanks more than the film does, I think.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah, definitely.
Spaceships are shit.
The one they take off in that like a rabbit with droopy ears, like the dropship.
It's weird. Yeah,
it's a
weird
odd design, isn't it?
It's like it's
really
been based on like a salt and
Yeah.
pepper shaker or something, and then they've just gone with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they ride that back to the main spaceship, which is called the Grendel. Which, it's not a great design. It looks like Lex to me. Do you remember Lex?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Oh, yeah.
I think the android is a very
I think
Lex
it's probably the
vibe,
same
doesn't
company,
she?
probably.
Do you think? That's that same sort of time, isn't it? 2001. That sort of Lex time. But yeah, so they get Jason on board, and we kind of meet the whole crew, which is a lot of forgettable teens.
Yeah, wearing
just
kind of woolen 90s wool. Do you know what I mean? They're wearing really
a lot of midriffs on show, aren't there?
like kind of new agey looking idiots, basically, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're like
It's a classic.
Saved by the Bell meets.
Yeah.
Well, later than that, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
Sliders.
They're kind of Lex clothes, aren't they? Lex, that kind of like
they are,
like wool stuff that doesn't fit right. You know,
A bit
like
of
lots
red
of
leather
holes
here and there.
for skin. Yeah. a bit of leather.
also, and it shows how much I don't like the film I'm going to say it reminded me of. It reminded me of Serenity a bit as well.
Oh yeah, it did actually. Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Another TV looking film. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was shit.
Yes.
So
Holy shit.
they're all just fodder because Jason's going to get loose. Because I mean, they wake the girl up and she's all like, "Oh my god, Jason's a bad guy. Don't do anything with him." But this student, the professor's in debt, and his like sugar daddy, I don't know who the guy is. He's like got some weird illness. Says, "Oh, is it Jason Voorhees? He's worth something."
Yeah.
Better keep him alive. Setting up a sort of alien style.
It is a lot like Alien Resurrection, this film. It's the same story.
That's true, actually, yeah. Waking up a past character.
Yeah, but there's all the stuff like with Sigourney Weaver, but there's also, the alien, and then it becomes like a mutated, better version of itself at the end. And even they try and kill it with the same thing, like with the hole in the spaceship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Alien 4, it's not very good.
Yes.
So everyone's on board. Jason's out, and I've got a quote here from this is from the making of Jason X, right?
Yeah.
Here we go. The film is full of wonderful acting moments. That's what the director says, and the scene he used to illustrate this is when the lad who's building the robot KM-14 is trying to fix nipples onto her breasts. That's the shot they show as an example of the wonderful acting moment.
It's crucial. It's crucial to the design.
Yeah,
that was. I mean, that was a funny scene, but it was not a wonderful acting moment.
Yeah, it's strange. I think the android though, she's probably the best. Like, she's kind of acting. I think she knows what film she's in a way a lot of them don't, or can't bother to know. Like. She wasn't great, but she was kind of engaging in a way the rest weren't, wasn't she? Maybe just because she got an interesting haircut, that might be just why she looks a bit.
Why.
Yeah.
And no nipples. So, that's a bit unique. So Jason wakes up, starts killing people.
Pretty brilliant. The first kill though, when he freezes that woman's face in liquid nitrogen and then smashes it on the side.
Smashes her face
and
up.
I thought it looks pretty good as well. Like, it still looks quite cool.
To be honest, all these model types, that's kind of what they all deserve.
Yeah, well,
all these actors.
Bloody.
Wow.
Psycho, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of like,
walk into a lake.
This is what it is. It's like, I mean, it's a great death, and it's kind of just, this is like true slasher. Like, and it's kind of like before the parodying of like, you know, like Scary Movie and stuff like that, where everyone's just pretty and just getting done in.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I wanted to watch this, because that's what is interesting for me about the film, especially we get later on, it even like goes even more closely into parody. It's that idea of like they're just transplanting it onto a ship, because I can't think of any other film that does this. Yeah. It's basically putting a slasher. Sunshine tried it a bit, I suppose, but completely missed the point. Yeah. But this is like taking all the tropes of it, like dumb, pretty blondes, you know, a lot of people doing stupid things they shouldn't do. Yeah, and some good deaths.
But weirdly, it's actually, by setting it like where it does, it actually explains why people are a bit stupid and why they aren't doing like what they should be doing. Because by being so far ahead, they might not have the kind of references that we would have of like a serial killer, or I mean, obviously there's the kind of basic, he's, you know, obviously you'd run away from him, but a kind of a level of stupidity is almost kind of acceptable within this one. Because it is literally kind of an alien situation to them. So I thought that was kind of quite good.
Because they're like living in a utopia sort of thing, you mean?
Yeah, like they're so far in the future, it's maybe that isn't what goes on. Everyone can be healed all the time by that machine, so death is kind of not really a thing. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of saw it as like, it's quite a good way of explaining why everyone's a bit of an idiot when it comes to trying to run away from him. And like, I mean, like, I love that line when, after the first kill, and the professor's, and the main woman's like, look, it's all gone wrong, and the professor's like, no, it's all fine, and they're like, well, let's go and find that woman. Then they walk in, and the next shot is them zipping her up in a body bag, and the security guy going, yeah, we've got some on the ship, we said they're loose, you know, we have to kill them now. I thought it's that kind of, because I think the humour in it goes into parody sometimes, but a lot of it stays the right side of parody for me.
Yeah.
It's not too stupid. It's kind of the right side of, it's kind of funny lines rather than, oh, isn't this all ridiculous?
It's pretty stupid.
It's stupid, but I know what you mean. It's not like winking at the camera, is it, though?
No.
It's not that thing of like scary movie, like you say.
Oh, no, they're
like
taking themselves really seriously, but so does, like, you know, Power Rangers. Like,
yeah, but that's the way to do it. I prefer that to like that Deadpool sort of like, oh, you know, I know that you know that this is stupid. Yeah. I'd rather they do, you know, buy into it themselves. As crap as they're doing it, because the acting's not very good, the script's not very good, and it looks awful, but at least they are invested in it in that,
exactly.
In that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Talking of needing to be invested in scenes, the VR scene with there's an absolutely terrible looking monster.
Yes.
Like, I guess they're trying to make you think that this is a real monster.
Yeah.
But it just looks bloody awful, doesn't it?
Really bad, yeah.
But it means we get this nice shot where like they get Jason gets in VR, gets confused, slices one in half, chops a head off, and they're all like, oh, this game's not fun anymore. Yeah. Which is, I like that shot scene. It's good. I like Jason's like confused look, because he's like, hang on, they're still talking.
It's the most, the Jason is Kane Hodder, who's like the most famous Jason. Yeah. So he played it like 7 to 10. His Jasons, but he's considered by most to be like the best Jason. So you're getting the best Jason you can have.
Yeah. Also, on the making of, said he considers himself a kind of a method actor, which was scary at first. Okay. But basically, it means that he ignores the crew, so the actors, and menacingly breathes at them. And like gets stuff really psyched up, and he said he enjoys being able to get his frustrations out by being Jason. But
wow, okay.
Yeah, he was determined to make them be scared of him, which you know, good for him.
Fair enough. Yeah,
as long as he's not actually murdering teenagers.
Yeah, not too method.
That's fair enough. Yeah, yeah. So Jason's still out. I mean, the whole film is just running around. A lot of teens trying to sort something out.
Apparently, the robot woman had to be released by certain dates to do Andromeda.
Ah.
Oh, did she?
That was in a contract, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, the middle of the film, I've kind of forgotten, to be honest with you.
There's another Doom reference. After we had a Doom reference in Event Horizon, there's a Doom reference in this. Yeah, because he says when they're all arming up, the sergeant says, "Oh, have you got the BFG?"
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
So yeah,
which is a big fucking gun, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
They're pretty crazy, the gun designs, I thought. I quite liked the guns in this.
Yeah.
They just looked a bit ridiculous.
Again, a bit TV, don't they? A bit like things like sort of egg boxes tied together kind of things.
Yeah, I quite like them. But yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
You get the middle kind of, it goes into a kind of Aliens riff, doesn't it? Because it's like the troopers are all against Jason and he's picking them off one by one.
That's it, yes.
Stuff like that.
Yeah,
so you get
the army
that
goes
kind of
to get
segment,
him. Yeah, where they all get picked off. But we've got to establish that they've got this machine, haven't they, that sort of knits people back together. So the one kid's got knit together. The captain of the army gets knitted back together, doesn't he? He gets saved by it. And obviously Jason will eventually. Because the army all die.
Yeah.
Jason is still loose.
They head for the space station.
Yeah.
But then crash into the space station.
Yeah, because Jason gets into the cockpit.
Yeah. And
much to the surprise of the guy.
In a Q&A, screenwriter Todd Farmer joked that there were probably around 20,000 people on that space station. So they all fucking died. Because it just blows up, doesn't it? Like, it all just blows up. And it's really weird because the shot of it blowing up is actually on a TV screen, like behind them. Because you just imagine that it actually looks so bad. Like, the effect looks so awful that they were like, oh, better just show that on that TV screen because it looks pretty bad. Let's just talk about this one.
Apparently the director wanted to make it a comedy, like an out-and-out comedy.
Yeah.
And there was something like where in one of the scripts it was like when they found that room from 2010, he finds a condom on the floor and they were like, oh yeah, these kids would just be like, yeah, let's test it, and he wanted to have a zero gravity sex scene and kids getting high in zero G.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't go that way too far.
Yeah. It kind of becomes a different film for the last half an hour, doesn't it? Because they get into this idea of like KM14, who's the android woman, is given not an upgrade or an update, but an upload. That's what they say. I gave her an upload. Not really the right thing to say.
You got it, haven't you?
And comes back as like a super android and gets a bit Matrixy, doesn't she? Jumping around, lots of guns, lots of shooting. Manages to kill normal Jason, who comes back as Uber Jason.
Yeah.
You got it.
I mean, what do you think about Uber Jason? The look of Uber Jason, eh?
It's not as good as the look of proper Jason. It's pretty stupid.
The idea of Uber Jason came from a discarded Freddy versus Jason script.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a very like late 90s, early 2000s vision of like that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
It was like Chris said, it's very Power Rangers, that one, isn't it? He looks like a Power Rangers bad guy.
Rockets!
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not great. Uber Jason isn't great, but I like that it happens, you know? I like that the film goes there.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to go. Yeah. The director said of Uber Jason makes evil look good. not sure I agree with that one, but
no.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So yeah, Uber Jason is taking no prisoners really, and we get to my favourite film of the scene, which is where they have the idea of putting Uber Jason into a VR version of Crystal Lake, which I was just brilliant. I mean, they've got like a VR version of two young girls who are saying like, oh, we're going to take part and do all the things that Jason hates.
Have premarital sex.
And we cut away from that. They take the tops off. We cut back, and Jason is beating one to death with the other one in a sleeping bag.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's so good though. And they were gonna get the woman that played Jason's mum to have a cameo in that bit, so like his mum would have turned up as well. And I read as well the casting director and the director didn't like that at first, and they were really against that scene. Yeah, and they refused to cast it because they were so against it because they just thought it was gratuitous. But it's the cleverest idea in the whole film, and basically.
And it's that's a way of like having that postmodern moment of like winking and going like, oh, we get it.
Yeah.
But in world and in context, that's why it's so clever. It's such a clever idea that this film doesn't deserve, really. You know, it's such a...
No, it doesn't, No, that moment is almost kind of almost, not saves the film, but it's the bit of the film it's definitely the bit of film most people remember, I would say.
And not only is it clever, but it's just also hilarious the way it ends with him just beating her with a sleeping bag, and then when the one's dead, he just throws the sleeping bag against the tree.
Yeah, and they're still kind of like they like going like ow, ow, ow. That's really rubbish, like, isn't it? It's like really badly done. Yeah, no, it is great, that bit. No,
and they completely waste that whole thing up by he just sort of walks out of it, doesn't he? Just that they go like, oh well, it doesn't matter, and he walks out. I think a better ending would be just that they just left him in this VR forever killing people in. That's the.
What's the answer, isn't it? Really, that's the answer to how you get rid of him.
Yeah, because he doesn't know any better, does he?
No, that would have worked. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not what happens, is it? The sergeant comes back.
The sergeant comes back and they launch him into space.
Yeah. It's really weird. I thought that one of the weirdest things was, when that other ship comes to get them.
Yes,
they only shoot that pilot. They only shoot him from one angle. Like you only see him like from just behind him. You never see his face. It's a really odd shot, and they just keep cutting back to it again and again and again, and the angle never changes. And I don't really know why. It just comes across as being really weird. And then the sergeant.
It's like a last minute pickup thing.
And the sergeant, doesn't he? He basically like just grabs Jason, and then they both like go into the atmosphere.
He sort of like burns up in Earth, but it doesn't look good, does it?
Strange.
It is, isn't it? It's an odd way to end it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it gives you the last shot of the teens on Earth who appear to be like. So Earth has got people on it. Or is that Earth 2?
Yeah,
that's Earth 2, isn't it?
Earth 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Where's that then?
Where's Earth 2?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it looks a lot like Earth.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? And Jason's in the water there. One other thing that I forgot to say though about that good shot, the VR Crystal Lake. Just going through it, they've even actually like the colour grading on it. It looks like a 70s film, doesn't it? The way they've kind of shot it and stuff, like very saturated. It's very good.
Yeah, it's very good, that bit.
2 minutes, 10 out of 10. The rest of it not so hot.
No.
I mean, we've rushed through it a bit because really it is a very, like Event Horizon, a very straightforward film, isn't it? Jason gets loose on a ship. Right, so that was it. Chris, Jason X, what is your thoughts overall on Jason X?
Pretty shit. I'm going to not be kind.
Was there anything you found redeeming from it? Did you enjoy any of it?
The explosion of the ship looked good. It was a good explosion. Like, it was a good special effect. There was a couple of good effects in there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Some of the VR stuff.
Yeah.
But in general, it was like watching Power Rangers. So,
fair enough.
Yeah, there were some funny moments as well. I did laugh actually. That guy with the long hair was quite funny, I thought.
Yeah.
Good. Alex.
I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I mean, I like horror anyway. I think it's just stupid and enjoyable. It's not brilliantly made or anything, but I do, like I said, I do still think that it has some original ideas, and there are pretty much all those, like Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Friday the 13th, all these cycles, they go so far, and a lot of them do just repeat themselves, and they never try anything this original, or if they do, like Leprechaun in Space, that's just a joke film. That's all out joke. So I do think with this, I do think it is funny, and there are some funny lines and there's funny bits, but I do think they try and take it a little bit seriously as an idea, and they try and, like you said, I mean, it is like a child, but they are like, but what would happen in this scenario? What can we do with it? And I think they do some interesting things.
The actors are trying to do a good job, essentially, but it's not a great script, though, is it?
It's not a great script, no. There's some good little lines in there, but no, I just think like there's some ideas in there that are decent, and considering it could have been just another sequel, I think that there's originality there that is not present in a lot of other, horror,
when was
sequels.
Alien Resurrection?
99.
Yeah,
they kind of copied each other then. Collective consciousness.
Well, this Alien Resurrection would have been. It was 1997.
Oh, 97.
Okay. All right, well, maybe.
And this was made in 2000 and then held on to for 2 years.
I mean, I don't know how much of that is conscious and just how much is that as a result of, where they are and what they're doing with it.
Mythbusters did the freezing head and smashing head thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so my opinion of it really, I'm kind of basically with you on this, Alex, totally. I didn't enjoy it that much. I mean, it is... The execution of it is poor on every level, really. It doesn't look good. doesn't sound good. Script's awful. Acting's not great.
No.
And it feels like TV. But, again, you could do so much worse for a Jason sequel, as they have done repeatedly. It is something new, and it has got that little interesting scene. But that's why I find it interesting. Like, it's such... There aren't many films that do push themselves in this sort of direction.
Yeah.
And it's failed, like, on the level of it's not a good film.
Yeah.
But it reminds me in a way, weirdly, of Blade Runner 2049, because these are films that don't get made or won't get made again. Like Blade Runner 2049 is a $200 million slow film, like a 70s sci-fi film, which flopped because no one wants to watch it and it won't get made again. Jason X is risk-taking where there's no need to take risk.
No, it's stupid.
It's just a Jason film. No one wants to watch it. No one. People who are going to watch Jason X will watch Jason X if it's literally just Jason 1 again, won't they?
Yeah. And you're not winning over the science fiction fans because they'll just be like, "That's dumb. It's just Jason on a spaceship." Like so as Chris has proved, like he's just like, well, it's just stupid. You've just used these things. Yeah. So you're not winning.
It's like a very unique film that like you wouldn't get this made easily because people are just like, well, what's the point? Why bother doing this? Why bother pushing the envelope in this sort of way? So I think that's why it's interesting, really, and they deserve some credit for that, but not a lot of credit because it is still very poor. Right, so let's rate and rank Jason X. It's a tough one, really.
Yeah, I think it's hard. Chris should go first. Yeah, Chris should go first.
98.
Bloody hell.
No.
So below the abyss, above Superman 4.
No.
Yeah. I think 89, below The Martian, above Predators.
Oh, you bastard! I really like Predators. That's hard. But I think that's a fair placing, though. Round that area, Deep Blue Sea's there as well, isn't it? That's just funny. There's 3 horror films are there.
It's got a lot of like Deep Blue Sea sort of vibe, I think.
Yeah, it does have a Deep Blue Sea. Yeah, and Dreamscape is there. Yeah,
and Predators as well.
Yeah, that's a fair placing. Yeah, that's an absolutely fair placing. I will not argue anymore. I feel that Chris is too harsh, though. So I think you're.
I've put it below The Martian because I thought it'd be too controversial to go above that. But
oh dear,
I know what I'd rather watch again. But
me too. Yeah, totally. But 89 then is that? All right with that one. Cool. Right, there we go. Jason X, and thus concludes the horror trilogy.
Until next Halloween.
We'll try and get done it in time for Halloween next year. Rather than have them all releasing after Halloween.
And
go late. But never mind. It was fun all the same. Right, so we're getting out of Halloween now, and next week's film is a big one. Let's go to the future and past and find out what it is. Hello, we're back again.
Hello.
The horror trilogy is gone, and we've been through some hard times. Sunshine. The worst of the 3, obviously.
What?
And so we're gonna break out of that into a sci-fi classic. This week we are watching The Matrix.
It's a big one. This is a big one.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
So The Matrix, obviously, I think we're all sort of the right age to have been pretty into The Matrix when it came out.
Hell yeah. And I'm old. Even me.
I can't say. Yeah, I wasn't into it.
Really?
But it was important.
You liked it, didn't you? Though it was a good film. You must have bought the DVD.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I think everyone bought the DVD. It's one of those first early DVDs, isn't it? Okay. But how long is it since you've seen The Matrix, Chris?
A few years.
Alex?
Long time. Maybe like 10 years, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's 10 years since I've seen it. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting because I've not seen the trailer in ages, and I'll be interested to see because my sort of the vision of it, like leather coats and sunglasses and stuff, feels very old-fashioned, doesn't it? And very aged and very sort of of its time. So it'd be interesting to see how it holds up. It's in 4K. Apparently it's been 4K since April, actually, but there's a box set of all 3 of them come out now. And they've taken off, in the Blu-ray version, they put a weird green tint over the films, which was universally panned. They've taken that off now, and apparently it looks amazing.
A green tint over the whole film had a green tint to it.
Oh, the bits when they're in the Matrix, so it was like very obvious when in the Matrix when they weren't.
Oh god!
This weird green tint. Look it up. It looks abysmal. I've not seen that version myself. So let's do a little synopsis for people who've not seen the Matrix, which is probably not many people.
Who the hell are you, person? The person that hasn't seen the Matrix has been in the Matrix, and they wouldn't even get that reference.
If you think about it, though, there are people like there are 18-year-olds. Well, the 19-year-olds who were born the year the Matrix came out.
I guess.
It's nuts.
Okay.
Who might not have seen it. So, the Matrix stars Keanu Reeves as a hacker who is perhaps aware that something is not quite right in the world and that there's something more going on that he can't see. And that more that's going on is that basically he lives inside a simulation run by computers.
Oh, shit.
Spoilers. So let's watch the trailer for The Matrix.
Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real? What if you were unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world?
What is happening to me?
The answer is out there, Neo. It's the question that drives us.
What is the Matrix?
Looking forward to that. I think the fact that the 2 sequels are so awful as well, and probably seen that more recently, that sticks in your brain, doesn't it? It's hard to...
Yeah.
Well, there was a point where they were like one of them films where they were always on ITV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sequels, for some reason, are not the original.
Isn't it weird? It destroyed itself, basically, didn't it? It was such a huge thing, and then people were so angry.
Well, it was such a good standalone film. It didn't... You know,
people were mad about those sequels, like really angry. Like
they were awful.
They were awful, and it didn't deliver anywhere near what the first one did. Even if especially at the time, and then
they just try and like retcon a load of philosophy onto it, don't they? And it's just
and then they
expand the world in a way that you don't. It's a real misunderstanding of what makes the first film good, isn't it? I think really, those sequels,
and then anyway, a load of other films delivered. Almost like Equilibrium delivers bits that are a bit like The Matrix, but in a fun package. So you were getting what you liked about The Matrix, but kind of again, weren't you?
Yeah.
So you didn't need the sequels.
Well, it'll be interesting. Definitely, big film to watch. Looking forward to that one, definitely. So join us next week, and we're watching The Matrix. For now, bye.
All
right.
It was The Matrix.
Woo.
From the ridiculous to the sublime, maybe. Huh? A lot of questions around the how well this will have aged. Everyone I spoke to about saying I'm watching this have said, "Oh, I bet that's aged terribly." So next week we will find out if it has aged badly or not. For now, I've not got any mail. Alex, can you do a little quick?
Sure. Well, if you
social thing.
Yeah, if you want to give us mail, it's sciencefictionratingsystem@gmail.com or the website sciencefictionratingsystem.com. It's great. It's got the list. It's got everything. Go to it. And then we are socialing up on SF Rating System on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And I found, in fact, I know we don't do much on Facebook, but I found a load of. You remember the bad toys?
Yes.
I found. So these are official licensed toys, action figures. So they're real, but they're terrible. So I might post them up on Facebook.
Nice.
I found some really good like Terminator, Alien, Demolition Man toys. Yeah. So I might put them on Facebook because they're quite fun. Yeah. They're just bad.
Shit merch.
Shit merch, exactly. Yeah.
I was in a B&M bargains today.
Oh, nice. I like B&Ms.
And
Party time.
It had a Batman, Dark Knight Returns, the Frank Miller
Batman's Yeah.
strip. Quite a deep cut. It had got figures for that in there, and they were absolutely dreadful. I know someone can find them online, but I've never seen a worse looking Batman.
Really?
He looked like he was like constipated. All his proportions are out of whack. He looked ridiculous. And there's like a Superman.
Sometimes they use a pre-existing mould, don't they? Which is another thing, and then
I think that's probably what's going on. It looked awful.
But that's like a proper fan thing. I mean, that's not just for the kids, is it? I mean, that's
it's a strange deep cut. It was an animated version a few years ago, wasn't it? So I suppose it might be for that. But still,
IP though, isn't it, for it to be? Yeah.
There was so much Batman though. I mean, I know like he's popular, but now that I'm having to like buy toys for nieces and nephews and stuff like that, I'm just realising how much that like DC, Marvel, and Star Wars took over basically all kids stuff. Didn't they, really, it's mental.
Yeah.
But, anyway, that's a rant for another day. Right, that's it. We're back next week with The Matrix. That's all I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. Right, see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.